Happy New Now, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with you as always. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, I'm super happy to announce that we have officially launched our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary artists, soul share interviews, retreat guests that come here to the Mystic Manor to join me and the interviewee on the stage during the last night of their stay, their week-long stay, as well as the show concluding with live musical performances. We're going to be releasing episodes every other Sunday at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can go to optimistic.tv, that's spelled OPTIMYSTIC.tv, to join our watch party for each future episode's release or to check out past episodes. We were originally going to be releasing Optimistic episodes every Sunday. However, as a community, following the flow of what is wanting to come through in these unique and unprecedented times with so many of our soul family stuck at home, craving connection, we have decided to move to releasing episodes every other Sunday so that those of us here on the production team at the Mystic Manor can free up some time and energy to help create virtual community for all of you P-heads out there. And we are accomplishing that aim by launching our new Mystic Manor online retreat and play shops re-membership program. It's going to entail live play shops twice daily, 7 days a week, behind the scenes footage here at the Mystic Manor each day, access to a Facebook group where we do short interactive 1-minute video challenges and reflect back to each other about our experiences, live Q&As with me and some of the other facilitators, and more. It's a super robust program. It's facilitated by over a dozen of us here at the Mystic Manor, and in an effort to support all you P-heads out there stuck at home craving connection, for a limited time, it is going to be totally free to sign up on our Patreon page, which is linked at optimistic.tv. Just be sure to fill out the form link that's located at the top of our About section on Patreon so we can make sure you have access. Otherwise, we're super excited to have you join in all the magic with us that's happening here every single day at the Mystic Manor and to expand our community together. Here we grow. All right, all you positive heads, welcome. It is a magical Monday here in the studio as I record, and I am super excited today, feeling really good. The sun is shining here in Southern California, and yeah, feeling really good. There's some exciting developments that are happening that I'm going to share with you guys today. And I thought about not sharing quite yet, just because, it's not 100%, but looks very likely that Optimistic, the new late night style consciousness elevating talk show that I've been working so diligently on over here with all the other Optimistics here at the Mystic Manor, and a lot of you guys who have come on retreat here who have co-created the show. It looks like we are going to be on the second biggest streaming service, Amazon Prime. So yeah, super excited about that. Not 100% yet, but I figured you guys are closest to me. I would tell you first. And, our closest supporters with this whole adventure of almost 5 years in May that Positive Head has been going. And of course, Optimistic is the evolution of that. If you're not familiar, you can go to optimistic.tv and check out the first 4 episodes. And so I'll keep you guys posted as all of that unfolds, and super exciting. Certainly an opportunity to reach a very broad audience. And we've released the first 4 episodes on YouTube, and that's pretty cool because it gives people an intro, and then we've recorded 17 episodes total for season 1. So as that all develops, I'll keep you guys posted. And But wait, there's more. So for many, many years, people have been asking me, to step into a coaching role or a life strategist, as I prefer, to kind of think of that sort of thing. And I guess it's your approach. And it's something that I just, I've had so many entrepreneurial ventures and shooting the show and doing retreats and all the things that we've been doing. I haven't had the bandwidth for it. Although, I do it on a mass scale, I guess you would say, with, 15,000 people a day in one way. But as far as one-on-one life strategists kind of diving in deep, consulting with people, I haven't really ever went there. Just like I said, I've had so many other things on my plate. Well, what happens when life gets turned upside down? Things like COVID, coronavirus hit us. It opens up new opportunities and potentialities. And since we're currently not doing the retreats, with all this happening, it's something where I've been given some consideration, and I have decided to take on a few select soul fam, soul tribe, members of our little family that are interested in working with me in a one-on-one capacity. Those are really interested in upgrading their life. And essentially what I will be doing is it's like we're partners, whether it's with your business or whether, it's like relationships, navigating relationships, what moves to make next, that sort of thing. I'm going to fully drop in with you one-on-one, once a week. Well, there'll be some variations on how that can all unfold, but just like, okay, what would I do if we were completely aligned in a partnership, whether that's business, whether that's, I was your father, your son, we're your next door neighbor. You're looking to me, and how can I help to navigate the waters of your life to take you to the next level, to upgrade, to come out of this chrysalis and the most beautiful butterfly possible. And it's something that I've done for friends and family and things my whole life, right? But I've never put it out there in this way to listeners. And so, like I said, my bandwidth, there's definitely some that's been freed up because of this stuff. However, there's only going to be so many slots. When I'm doing one-on-one time with you guys and really diving in with you, there's only so much bandwidth for me to do that. So yeah, if you're interested, go to positivehead.com/upgrade, UPGRADE. And there's a quick little form. You fill that out, and then if it all aligns, we set up a life strategist call, and just like a free call to kind of explore and make sure it's fully aligned for us both. I want to only go down this path with someone that 111% is committed to transformation, upgrading their life, and I just want to make sure it works for everyone. Everyone has to win, right? For it to be a win. So that's what I'm exploring. I'm really, really excited about this. I've never done this. So many people, so many of you listeners do this sort of thing, and for those of you who don't know, I've created, some of you may be new to this, I've done some pretty cool things in my life, created a Inc. 569th fastest growing private company in the US in 2015 with zero startup capital, living on my friend's couch. We did, upwards of $50 million in revenue, and it all came from me believing and tapping into my powers of manifestation. And, this podcast, Optimistic, all the magic that's happening here at the Mystic Manor, it all came from, I certainly have plenty to learn, but I have learned a lot, and I love sharing that wisdom. And I believe if we co-create and connect, it really creates what I call a so-bet experience with any person. And so what that is it's a transference of energy. So this podcast is a version of that, right? There's a transference of energy that takes place. And so when you get really intimate, it's a two-sided conversation, and you're actually working together, and we are, tackling challenges together, seeing that there are no problems, only solutions, and we're doing that together. There's a deep transference of energy, and I have a lot of it to give. And like I said, I don't have enough to do one-on-one sessions with the whole world, but for a few select of you guys and gals and aliens out there, I am going to make the time. And so once again, go to positivehead.com/upgrade, and we can explore the possibilities. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over here to this very rich conversation from yesterday. If you've been listening for a while, for the last few weeks, I've been sharing on Monday. I've been sharing what we did on Sunday after each optimistic release of each episode. We've been doing live Q&As with me and Everett, and a lot of times a guest in there from here at the Mystic Manor, someone different. We've been rotating people out, giving people the opportunity to grow and expand their wings, and because everyone here, there's so much wisdom, and everyone has that inner leader, right? So pulling Everett up from behind the camera, he's the creative director, and then someone different each week. Well, yesterday we were scheduled to do it, and I had a lot on my plate, and Damiana, who was on the show a few weeks back, and I even referenced her in last Friday's episode as well. She's just so epic, has so much to offer, and so she decided to step up and fill in for me, and her and Everett went deep on conscious leadership, the power of communication, expression, empowerment, all these great topics. And I'm talked a lot about some of the things that have been happening here where there's been a lot of growth. So I'm going to jump right to that from here, let you guys tune into that. I know you're going to all thoroughly enjoy it. And otherwise, I'll keep you posted on the Amazon Prime. Like I said, you can watch the first 4 episodes of Optimistic at optimistic.tv, and be sure to go to positivehead.com/upgrade and fill out that little form if you are interested in working one-on-one with me. Otherwise, love you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your now.
Yay! We're doing it. So I'm Damiana, on Instagram, Damiana Loves, because I love everything, and my practice is to continue to love everything and love all that arises. One of my favorite spiritual teachers, Matt Kahn, who had an episode with us just a few weeks ago, was sharing about that, and it's so powerful. If you guys don't know him, please look into him. He's amazing. Watch that episode. And this is the incredible Everett, the creator of what is it? You're the creative director of all things.
Creative director of all things here, the creator of the show Optimistic, and one of the founders here at the Mystic Manor. It's been quite a journey. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's ev.thecreator on Instagram. So let's get into it.
Yay!
Let's talk about some things.
Yeah. So there's been a lot coming up being here and in the world, and just so much going on. I know we've got a couple topics that we're going to dive into while we're here. So the first is conscious leadership. So what does conscious leadership look like? What does that mean? How can we be beacons of that and embodiments of that? And if you guys have any questions come up during this, please feel free to ask away. And Everett, if you'd love to start. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Yeah, so today we're talking about conscious leadership, and we're also going to, I think, share a couple things, especially that we've been growing through here within conscious leadership and all the things. And, for me, a big thing that I've come to learn in my experience of always being in environments where we have to create within our means, and it's almost like we have these impossible situations or scenarios with the team that's given. And so how does one really level up with the team that they have to get to the place that they want? And for me, a lot of that has been empowered leadership. And to me, that's such a new paradigm way of encouragement, of empowerment, of training and empowering leaders within your team to all rise and hold their own pillars, rather than being in this old paradigm structure of hierarchy and I am the one boss and you guys all have to do what I say, right? Versus I am the leader of this tribe, and I am here to empower all of you guys to be leaders as well, to step into your own greatness. And to me, that's really the key to activate productive play, to create flow within the harmony, within the ecosystem, and then everybody's having fun. And within that team building experience, what's fun too is everybody is being able, it creates a culture where everyone's calling each other up, right? We're all calling each other up, and we're rising into these greater and grander versions of ourselves,
Truly.
Which is an infinite way of growth. So,
and the old, go ahead.
No, on you.
Well, it's interesting too, because the old way of being, something that we're really moving out of, is this calling each other out, which is such a It just is like the way that we've been taught, the old programming, and then also like comparison and tearing each other down. And the way of empowered leadership and fully embodying that is truly to be able to see that all of us are in it to, like you could say, in it to win it, but like we have the same goals, the same why, the same mission, and like really supporting each other into rising into our highest potential, to claiming the power of what and who we are and what we're here to bring into the world. And if we're constantly tearing each other down, it just creates a culture and a community of so much pain and suffering. And we as a collective, as a global collective, and as the microcosm of the macrocosm being here in the Mystic Manor, we are really moving into this new way of being, which can be so challenging. It really is like so simple in a lot of ways, but it's not always easy. It's a constant practice of like how to be that. And so what are some ways that you would say that are like really tangible ways that people can embody this and be able to bring this to maybe their team or their home, or maybe they're running a company or a community or whatever it is? Because ultimately it's like it's our responsibility to be that, instead of to wish that someone else is going to be that for us, or once the leader becomes that, then everything will change, which yes, that's true, but also we hold the power within ourselves to fully embody that and bring that and be that, and then watch what happens.
The thing that comes to mind as you're saying that for me is really taking full responsibility for everything that's in your world. And that applies to just leadership and team building, but also to life itself, right? To be in a place where you're pointing the finger, you're not taking responsibility for the things that you hold, really puts you in that victim consciousness, right? That victim consciousness mindset where you're like, oh, this is not on me, right? Why is this happening to me, right? It puts you in the victim consciousness and doesn't allow for you to empower yourself to actually make that change. And that is seen with the things that we feel and that we hold on to from the past. That's also seen, on a very microcosm level of, holding your role or your responsibility within the team. And so, a lot of times I encourage people in the team setting to, hey, you have the power, you have the control, you have the responsibility of the domain that you are the master of, right? Rather than saying, I'm responsible, or you're responsible for these tasks or to do these things, and they don't necessarily understand, or they don't have that full responsibility or that full visibility. And so as a leader, it takes a lot of trust to allow that person to step into that. And that was something that we really practiced here over the past few months with our team. As a lot of the people here at the Mystic Manor went from doing a job that was completely new to them to now they're like running these roles as if they'd been doing this for decades.
Amazing.
And a lot of that just took a little bit of trust from the boss or the leader, right? And so if I were to approach them and say, hey, like, these are the things that you can do. I'm not sure if you could do them. It's way beyond your capacity. This would take 10 years of experience to do, but good luck.
Yeah.
Right? Good luck. And you could feel that people genuinely want to help and contribute, but don't necessarily know how.
Yeah.
And so as the leader, really, it's not about, I have all these tasks, here you go. It's about, hey, how can I guide you and empower you to step into this role where you know exactly what you're doing? And most of that is just being confident in what you're doing. And that confidence comes from the leader or the superior or the person that they're looking up to, who says, hey, I see that in you. I see that you can do that. That validation, that permission slip to be great is what allows people to then be like, whoa, like, yeah, like the leader sees me as this. I don't see me as this, but they see me as this. And they just asked me if I wanted to take on this responsibility. Of course I'm going to take it. What a great opportunity, right?
So empowering.
It's
and
so
makes
empowering.
People feel so good and so seen, so felt, so heard, connected to. And it makes them feel that confidence, if someone else can have confidence in me.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, like, there really is so much of what, we do also as like a coach, like a life coach. I call myself actually a love coach and sensuality, love and sensuality guide. And it's so much about seeing someone's potential before they actually even see it. So when you think about that, it's like, when you hold the ability to actually see people's highest potential and hold them there before they see it for themselves, it actually allows that person the ability to rise into that space. And so we have the power to completely transform everyone and everything around us by actually constantly seeing them and viewing them as their highest potential and holding them there. And it's not always, sometimes it can even seem, like pushy or like, whoa, because you're calling someone up and they might not even be used to it because they're used to someone kind of tearing them down. And so it's a new way of even relating to everyone, not just the people that you're like working with, but to everyone in your life. Like if you see someone constantly doing something that you're like, wow, this is so not serving you, I see this pattern, saying like, hey, are you open for reflection? Like I noticed, like asking permission, and I noticed like you're doing this thing and you keep doing it. I've been hearing about it for years. Like, it doesn't seem like it's serving you. Like, do you want to shift that? Because ultimately we become these creatures of habit where we just become the hamster in the hamster wheel running, like I've heard it here a lot of this, like I'm just like paddling, like trying to get my head above water, like doggy paddling constantly. It's like, wow, like that is so going against our true nature. Our true nature is to completely let go and trust the flow and to be guided to actually move with the energy of the way that the water, the current is taking us. Like you are always being guided, and when you just trust and you surrender and you let go, the universe will come to support you and show you that through taking a leap into the unknown, you can actually fly. So it's like you decide to take the jump, right? Yeah. And then you recognize, oh wait, I can fly. I'm not falling anymore. I'm actually flying.
Yeah, it's interesting. Have you ever been skydiving before?
Yes.
Right? So
once,
when you're skydiving, and this is kind of to tie into what you're saying about flying, when you're skydiving, it doesn't feel like you're falling. It feels like you're laying down flat and the ground is just getting closer to you, right? It's kind of a weird like backwards feeling. And so a lot of times when you're flying or like in that energy of I'm actually flying, you can't really tell. You have to see it that way. It's a perspective shift.
Such a choice.
It's a perspective shift, yeah, and it's a choice. And to go on what you're saying is, do you see the people around you? Are they flying or are they falling? It's all from one perspective. It could look like they're falling, or it could feel like they're falling. Another way is it could look like they're flying or rising, right? And so to kind of back up your point, it's how we want to paint the people around us, right? Am I surrounded by a bunch of imbeciles that just can't do the job? Or am I surrounded by a bunch of superheroes that are so talented and so powerful and so capable and so unique? And as a leader or as anybody that's on a team, if you see your team as the superheroes and amazing human beings that they are, that's how you're going to utilize your resources. That's how you're going to strategize in your meetings. That's how you're going to be like, oh, this is the task we have. I have a bunch of superheroes around me. Okay, this is how we're gonna complete this mission. Or, right, on the other hand, on the dark side of it, it's just me and I'm struggling and everybody's here, but they're all peons.
No one knows what to do.
No one knows what to do. I don't know.
I can't rely on anyone. I don't trust anyone to do it. I have to do it myself.
Yeah.
Which is really like that lone wolf mentality too. It's like, it's only me. I'm all alone. I'm the only one who can do this. And it's really when we shift the perspective into that truth, which is like you really give people the benefit of the doubt that they're trying their best and they want to help, and you give them the opportunity to help and show them what to do, and like they will rise into it. It's like that old thing around money, like they say, like there's like this test that I kept hearing about a while back where someone would like leave out money as like a test to see if someone's gonna rise into like, oh, like I respect and love this person so much, of course I'm not going to take their money, or it's like they're going to take it. And they say like, I mean, obviously it depends on the person, but typically if you give someone that much trust to leave the money out, they're going to be like, whoa, this person trusts me so much. I don't want to like disrespect their trust, or like I want them to feel that. I want them to trust me, so I'm not going to touch their money.
Yes.
It's like you're giving them giving them a cookie, like the old saying, but it's like you're giving them the opportunity to rise into it. So yeah, it's really beautiful. Is there anything else you want to say about this?
There was actually what was it, the thing you were saying for me, like the trust, going back to the trust element of your team and kind of applying that practically, I think the hardest thing as a leader to trust in your team is the fear that something might not happen correctly, or that something might, some sort of mistake, fall through the cracks. Yeah, exactly. And that happens. That's a part of the growing experience. And so you also cannot put an unrealistic expectation on your team or the people that you're working with, so that it's so airtight to where if one tiny little mistake happens, then the whole thing falls apart, right? It's a house of cards at that point. And to understand that it is a growing process, and it is about the process. For me, it's about the process. It's not about the end result. The end results are milestones that we kind of hit, right? To kind of ground ourselves in and to know. But the whole process, that is the gift. That is the joy of it. And within that process, mistakes are going to happen. It's a part of the growing, and sometimes those mistakes are beautiful mistakes or happy accidents, as I like to call them. And so to encourage that within the team and give them that comfortability and that safety net to know, like, hey, if, again, example, if somebody messes up, right, on your team and you just rip their heads off after that, what does that do? Does that really, at the end of the day,
it breeds fear?
It breeds fear, right? Does it allow that person to really understand and recognize their mistakes to where they can take responsibility for it? Or are you taking the responsibility from them by, coming down really hard on them? And I learned that lesson really, really well when I was an athlete. My coaches would rip my head off if I couldn't make a shot. I was a basketball player. I couldn't make a shot. My coaches would rip my head off. Why am I even on the court? Why am I even playing basketball in the first place if I can't make a shot, right? And what that did to me, from my leader, the person that I was looking up to, for them to say that to me, that instilled so much fear in me that anytime I was going to shoot the ball again, I would guess what I was thinking about? Missing, right? I was thinking about, oh shit, like if I shoot this again and I miss it, guess my coach is going to yell at me, tell me, really question why I'm even on the court, and then that creates that cycle of negativity and fear. And, trauma. That's a drama machine, right? Yes. On the other hand, as a leader, somebody will mess up. And I've practiced this on a lot of my film sets as well, and just kind of everywhere in life. But somebody messes up, they know they made that mistake. You don't need to encourage that or enforce that in them. By allowing yourself to be the support system and that structure for mistakes, that inspires even more growth. And guess what? They're like, you know what? I'm never going to do that again. I promise you I will never do that again. And that turns that person from being like crippled in from making that mistake and I don't even want to touch that again because I'm so afraid, to now let me do that one more time.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show
what's possible. Yeah.
And I love that, and what you're talking about is so powerful because it really is such a flip of the mind. I just want to share one thing, and then it sounds like we got a comment. Actually, do you want to go ahead and ask it, and then
they were just saying the same thing you guys were. Just offering up the opportunity for people to show who they are and what they're capable of.
Yes.
Beautiful. Who said that?
This is Nicole Nix.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, hi, Nicole. Thank
100%.
you. Yeah, such a powerful reminder. And there's another comment right here on the other page.
Yep, this one says, being an efficient manager requires you to leader and make sure our team is supported. If I gave a team member a task or role and they don't know what they're doing to be successful, it's on us and as the leaders, not to the individuals, to support and encourage the coach.
Yeah. Who said that?
This is Chris Becerra.
Oh yeah. Hi Chris. What's up? We've seen you a lot on here. Thanks for joining. And part of what you were saying that was just such a powerful reminder. It like kind of reminded me of some other sides of this, but just like that, the difference of the perspective is literally key with everything and anything. And so witnessing the way that people, if we're just looking at like even a mistake, to even like call it a mistake or like a fault or blame, right? These things, it's like if we shift the perspective and we start to see these problems as an opportunity, we actually see like, wow, what an amazing opportunity for us to look at, like, where is this coming from? Where did this stem from? Oh, do you not fully know this one thing? Or maybe this piece, the role wasn't clear. Or maybe it's like, where's the opportunity for all of us to actually come together and to see how this could be made to be even better. And of course, everything that we see outside of us is also a reflection of ourselves. So if we're constantly noticing something and something that triggers us and annoys us, and we're like constantly judging something, then it's like, okay, what is this? What is it that this is bothering? What is it that is bothering me about this? And like, how can I actually look at this? And how can I love that? Like, how can I, like, again, like, whatever arises, love that.
Absolutely.
Instead of trying to be angry at it or mad at it. Even like, say someone messes up, really, you see it as an opportunity. Instead of screaming at them and going crazy on them, you're like, wow, how can I really shift this and have a conversation and be curious instead of making assumptions? That's so powerful and so key. It's like, instead of assuming, wow, you must be doing this because you're angry, or you fucked up, or you really, you really did something bad, like maybe I can't trust you and that's why you did this. It's like, we can easily create so many stories in our minds, or we can seek to actually understand someone. We can seek to be curious. And so there's a really simple prompt that I like to use when I'm like just in everyday life, but like especially when I'm working with people and coaching them. But it's around saying, I notice this. So like, I notice you didn't show up for work today. I imagine. So it's I notice and I imagine. So I notice this, and then I imagine it might be because you've got a lot going on. Maybe you're really tired. You stayed up late last night. But I'd really love some more insight on this. Like, could you please share with me what might be going on? And then you're taking the pressure off. You're not going crazy at them. You're like taking a stand for actually, like, I really have a desire to know what's going on so that we can make some shifts. And that actually puts someone in the, instead of being on like the defense, because if you attack someone, of course they're going to be like defensive and they're going to make all the excuses and reasons. Well, you did this and I did this, and then it turns into an actual fight oftentimes. So, and this can be for relationships, for partnerships, for all different kinds of relations, even with your parents or your siblings. We can take this new way of being, of like, how can we actually just seek to understand someone and to really come from a place of caring. If you really care about someone, you don't just want to attack them. You want to be like, hey, I noticed you did this thing to me, and like, it really hurt my feelings when you did that. Like, why? I want to understand, why did you do that? Like, where is that coming from? Can we have a conversation about that?
I mean, the power of conscious communication in the workplace, in any place, is so important, because there's this thing I call the gray area of communication, is where something happens and it's not communicated between the two parties. There's this whole gray area of uncertainty, right? And what tends to happen when we're triggered and there's gray area, we tend to fill that gray area with all the things in our past that fill in those gaps. Oh wait, like they're not showing up because they're trying to screw me over or whatever, right? Because of that thing that happened that one time, all the time, right? It all fills that gray area. That's such a great
analogy. You're filling it with all your baggage. Putting all your baggage into this moment.
And all the things that come up because of that thing that reminds you of that thing that created pain and suffering in the past is now filled with all of these projections, right? And then the longer you don't talk about it or communicate that gray area, guess what? It just keeps getting filled and filled and
it gets
filled.
Bigger and heavier.
And heavier.
You feel the weight of it. You like feel it in your throat because you're not speaking your truth. You feel it on your shoulders because you're like carrying this giant weight. It's like you can actually make yourself sick from not expressing yourself and having these conversations. And the sooner we have the conversations, the faster the energy will move. So it's up to us.
Yes.
It's up to us. You can't wait for someone, we got in that fight and like they need to come to us and like they need to come and apologize.
So much ego.
Right? It's like, no, I get to be the one, like, hey, I'm going to take responsibility. Like, I just did this thing and like I'm not exactly, maybe you don't even know why you did it, but you don't have to know. Even just having the conversation, opening the conversation, saying, I know I'm going to take responsibility for this. I'm going to feel into it. I don't really know where that came from, but I know there's something there for me. And like, I just had that experience this morning, like with Magic. Like, I just like had this moment of feeling like angry and frustrated and like unheard. And I just like took it out on him in this like little way that was like not necessary at all. And then right after, like I was laying in Shavasana, I was like, wait, why did I do that? What was that? Like, where did that even come from? And I don't know exactly yet because I haven't given it the space and the time to actually, like, to really feel into it of, like, what was I trying to do or say or, like, and so it's like that happens constantly and we constantly have an opportunity to look at it and to really love it, and instead of judging it and be like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, how could you do that? I would like, or especially like if Magic had come at me like that and been like what, like mean. Like if he had come at me in a mean way, it's like that just would put me in such a like, wow, I don't even have the space or time to actually look at it because now I'm just like, now I just feel bad.
Right.
Now I just feel like shit and I don't know what to do with myself.
And even,
how did I approach it?
And even if he did, come at it mean.
Are you live streaming?
Yeah, we just decided to go live.
So even if you did come at it, in a way that was super mean or super harsh, that's still on us to like not to see past that, right?
Yeah, it's my responsibility to not just react, but to respond. And in the moment, originally, like what I did, with the reason why it fell off is because I reacted. It was like a reaction instead of like a response of like, what is it that I actually want? So it's like a guttural instant reaction versus taking the moment to respond, which is what we get to really do as leaders. Is like if we're basing everything, if everything we're doing is based on an instinctual like reaction of like that fiery, like someone's yelling at me, I'm just gonna yell back, or someone just like did this, I'm gonna do it back to like just get back at them. It's like, wait, let me just sit back for a moment. Let me just observe the situation and try to like, wow, what's going on here? One of the things Matt Kahn says that I really love is about anger, and how he says like when you're feeling angry, it's like your body's signal to you to say like go away, like go be alone.
Yeah.
Take a moment, take some breaths, like. And that's something that is really, really, really powerful, and something that I'm really practicing because I do have these like tinges of like little anger spurts of like, ah!
Of course.
And so like, I mean, we all do. We're human. We're human. And so being able to like take a moment and really step back is the practice. It really is the beauty of what's possible.
Yeah, and a big thing I've been really putting into practice is not taking things personally.
So huge.
Not taking anything personally. I just finished the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements, and the last agreement of that is to not take anything personally. And that one was an interesting one because I'm like, oh wow, like I actually do and have in the past taken a lot of things personally. And when I really thought about it and when I kind of dove into that book, anything that anybody does to you, it's not about you. It's all about them. It's them and what they're going through and what they're experiencing that's being projected out back to you. So to even get angry at that, it's kind of right. It's kind of like a selfish act in a lot of ways. It doesn't even make sense, and it doesn't really serve. And so, and you know, it's difficult. In theory, it's it's one thing.
It's so simple.
Applying
but it's not
it
always
when
easy.
you're in the moment and you're heated, that's a whole other practice. But when you do go through that door, when you do choose to not respond in anger, but to rather look at it objectively and from a place that's not personal, you can actually separate yourself from that emotion and then see right past all the smog of what's happening and go directly to the root of the cause, or go directly and see the person. Oh, actually, that person is being really mean to me right now because they are actually in pain, or they woke up and they're not feeling great. So now let's address that issue versus talking about the anger, which is really just a byproduct of how the person is feeling.
It's a symptom. Like every little thing that we're seeing, these little outside stuff, it's like, it's really a symptom. There's always a root, like opportunity instead of problem. There's always a root to it. And so the more that we can actually go right to the root, then we can actually transform it. If we're focused constantly on the little symptom, nothing is actually going to really change. You're just going to be going around talking in circles to try to like figure out why you did that little thing. That little thing, it didn't really matter. It's what's underneath the thing that is what the actual like substance, that's where the substance really lies, and that's where the biggest and greatest opportunity to heal and transform lies. So it's really up to us. It's our responsibility to see that, and it is, it is so simple in so many ways, but it is such a beautiful challenge and opportunity that we get to have in every moment. And the not taking things personally is so key, and you get to really sit back and become the observer and the witness of like the way that people are being, the way that people are experiencing their life, and be able to be like, wow, I really see you. You must be going through a lot right now to be able to react in this way. Like, do you want to dive into that? Like, how can we help support you in really in loving this and transforming this and healing this? Yeah,
it really helps you show up in compassion rather than show up in response to the thing that's happening. by being able to separate yourself and not taking it personally. You're seeing it happening in front of you, and then you're like, oh, now I can respond in compassion and in love and transmute this thing. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy together, right? We all just want to be happy together. We want to be in love together, and we want to create the thing that we are here to create together, whatever that may be. And so if that's the ultimate goal and that is the intention, then why are we talking about all the things that, you know, all the muddy things that we're responding to? And so to be able to be that person to inspire that shift, that positive shift, really takes looking at it in a way where it's like, I'm not going to take this personally. I'm going to remove myself, not take it personally, and look at the person with compassion, because I know they're going through something too right now. And if I can show up as my best self, guess what? That's going to most likely be reflected through the other person.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's so key. I saw some comments up above. Can you check to see if there's any questions, or there's some comments on both of them? I saw.
Yeah. What's the pulse of everybody out there? How are you guys feeling about this conversation? And what would you guys like to hear more of? Because Damiana and I we're both Gemini, so we can just go on a million topics all day. But yeah, would love to.
One thing leads to another, leads to another.
Yeah, would love to check in with you guys and see how you're all feeling. Magic, what's happening out there?
Yeah, we got, if a leader or manager is causing more issues than solving, there is a dysfunction.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
and I see the yes. Chris says yes.
Yeah.
Capitals.
Yeah, it's from Chris. And then he also says, thank you so much for these transmissions, familia.
Cool.
Beautiful.
You're welcome, Chris.
Yeah. And then another one, he says, first rule of customer service I teach my team. Look deeper and lead with love.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I see you love it, too.
And
Who's that?
We got Mel Juice.
Mel Juice.
Says, love it. Says, keep going.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
Mel Juice. I love your name.
Yep.
I see another question.
It just came in. Chris says, how can we resolve and rebalance bad apples?
Well, first of all, not seeing them as a bad apple and actually seeing them as the greatest opportunity you have within your team to shift. But there's so much to this also, because we recently had an experience here where there was someone that was actually asked to shift away from actually fully living here. And that was a really interesting situation, because when I was having the conversation to look into this, it was like, well, there's so much opportunity there within this, you know, what you could call a bad apple or the problem or whatever, right? Like there's opportunity that lies within this person. Like there's medicine there. Do we actually want to fully dive into that and see how we can shift and transform as a collective to shift the whole narrative around that, you know? Or is it not worth it? Is it not worth moving forward anymore with this person because of how much energy they're taking up? So it's a really interesting conversation. Thank you for that question, Chris.
Yeah, I always like to go back to the why, right? That's the conversation, to go back to the why. If there is someone who you're considering a bad apple, or more so someone that's not fully aligned with the harmony of the team, right? If it's somebody who's creating more of a catalyst, or who's creating more of a disturbance within the flow of the team, that's, I think, when you're identifying, okay, this person, right, is not quite fitting in with the harmony. And so as a leader, it's on you to notice that the tribe is in disharmony, right? In a lot of ways, the leaders are the shaman, right? And so to notice that, and then to identify that person and to talk to them and really see, like, what is the why, you know, like, are we still aligned here? Are we still aligned with our intention, with the why of what we want? And if we are, and there's some sort of an issue or a discord, then it's really getting to clear out that gray area that we were talking about earlier. And if there is, and a lot of times I find it's someone is just not feeling seen or valued or appreciated. That's usually what's happening, is I'm doing so much and nobody can see what I'm doing, and I just don't feel appreciated, and right? And then there's all this built up resentment, which then creates or causes that person to feel the rift, which then the harmony, right? They're out of the harmony. It's creating discord, and that's what is felt within the ecosystem of the tribe. One thing that we did here that was super valuable and a huge shift was something that Damiana brought to us, and that was the idea that in the tribal cultures, when somebody kind of goes off the rails or has a temporary moment of insanity or really just is off the harmonics of the tribe, instead of saying, hey, you're weird and we're gonna just isolate you and alienate you and kick you out because you're being weird, figure it out, right? Instead of doing that, the entire tribe surrounds that one person and just gives them a bunch of love and really recognizes that person and just showers them with love and gratitude and support. And with that love of the entire tribe, they feel that support, right? They feel it's transmuted within, right? All of this pain that I'm feeling, all this suffering, oh my God, I feel seen, I feel loved, I feel appreciated, I feel a part, like I'm a part of the tribe. Now I'm in a state where I can receive from other people, where I feel comfortable sharing and being vulnerable. Because usually that's the most difficult part, right? Is like, oh, like I'm struggling, but I want to be recognized by my tribe as somebody who's really contributing. But I'm not, and I'm afraid to do that, because if I do that, then what if I get kicked out of my value and all the things? And so for the leader to recognize that, for the tribe to also recognize that, and to be able to say, hey, I see you, we all love you, we need you here, we want you here. That completely shifts the environment and the playing ground that we're in to then have the difficult conversation, or to have that release. And once you have that release and you're setting that within the culture, then these things, when they happen, it's like, oh yeah, I'm just really not feeling right now. Let's communicate that and talk about that. Yeah. So it goes from being this huge ordeal, right, that it doesn't know how to be dealt with, to now it's a part of the culture. It's something that, oh, like so-and-so's feeling a little bit off today. Let's give some gratitude to this person. And that was a huge shift that we had here at the Mystic Manor that Damiana and Magic brought to the entire culture, which was so great.
And it's really beautiful to witness now. Like, the level of expression is completely transformed from when Magic and I first got here. Like, when we first got here, there was like this, you could just feel it in the air that there was so much unsaid. Like, there was so much emotion that was not being expressed. And I actually even witnessed a couple people have some throat stuff going on, like where they were feeling sore throats, or they were like, oh, I just feel like this weird thing in my throat. I don't know what's going on. Like, I think I'm getting sick. And then I was like, maybe it's actually that you're not speaking your truth and you're not actually expressing yourself. This stuff is getting like held inside of you. And then I helped facilitate them actually being able to speak up for themselves, and their sore throats completely went away. It was not a sickness. It was that they were a self-created sickness, ultimately, from like lack of expression. And now, after, there's been a series of different things that we've done, and it's gotten better and better and better and better. And now it's like we're witnessing people express themselves every day and getting to see how much has shifted because of that. And it really is becoming part of the culture. We're creating the new culture right now. And this culture of being able to be like, whoa, I am feeling this thing. Like, okay, I get to go right up to the person and have a conversation, or I get to go and ground this in a little, breathe into this, take a few moments to be alone, and then go have a conversation.
Right.
And it's really, really beautiful to witness. And this is such a life-changing model for anyone and everyone, is to just like really coming into the power of expression.
And to encourage that in whatever the environment is, whether that's your home or your workplace or wherever you're going.
There's so many tools of ways to encourage that, and there's a lot of resources around like conscious communication and the ways of creating a space where it feels really safe, and there's so much to that. And if you're wanting to go deeper into that, because obviously this is like the tip of the iceberg, because this one conversation around communication goes so deep, of like authentic relating and nonviolent communication and all of this, right? So if you're wanting to go deeper into that, like, please feel free to private message me, because I would love to help support you. It's something that I'm really big on and have really transformed in my own life for many years, and I'm still practicing every day, and I get to witness it and get to be a reminder of that. And there's a lot of amazing tools that really help transform the way we communicate. And one of the things I love to do is actually mediate between people. So I've like even worked with like a mother and a daughter that were completely like they didn't talk for 8 years, you know, and then being able to bring them together through conscious communication. And it really is about communication, and majority of the anger and the pain and the suffering that we experience is because there is a lack of something being said. There is a miscommunication. There is something that was said a while back that you meant this and they took it like this, and then it turned into this, and now we hate each other. But really, you love each other. It's just you are in the construct of the mind that says, I can't love this person anymore because they think this of me or they did this to me. So there's such a huge opportunity there for us all to transform that. And when we transform it within, we truly do transform it for the collective. And so the more that we can dive in and continue to do this work and these practices and just coming into this new awareness, like everything really does shift. So it's really beautiful. And yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Damiana, it's at Damiana Loves for those who want to dive deeper into communication. I just see I think a comment right there on the other one.
Said by Chris again, everything connects so many levels.
Right.
That's awesome. You have that gift. You two are amazing. Thank you for this open dialogue by Chris again.
Yay.
It's been Mel, Juice, and Chris.
Oh, awesome.
Yay, Mel
Thank
and
you,
Chris.
guys.
Okay, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
And really being engaged for this.
Oh, wow. It's already 12. That happened so fast.
Did we already go through our hour?
Well, no, because we started like 11:15.
Okay.
But it's just so funny.
Okay.
It happens so quick. We're like, oh, maybe we'll do a half hour.
No, I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna go
I
full
know,
hour.
right?
Full hour. But yeah, power of communication. It's so liberating.
So.
And then back.
It's so liberating.
Says, PJ Carmichael. She was talking about the showering them with love, putting the person in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes, that works very well.
Yeah. Which I really, ultimately, we get to create more space to continue doing that. It's like so powerful. And, and that's something, too, like when so much of the problems, as you said earlier, of the breakdowns that happen are because of people not feeling loved, heard, like, there's like such a lack of gratitude and appreciation, and this is something I've experienced so much in my own life, and in partnership and in like the house, like just witnessing it and also experiencing it for myself. It's like just feeling like, wow, I'm doing so much, and like no one is even noticing, and maybe they are, but they're not saying it, and they don't look like it, and they're not appreciating it. It's like, should I? Like, I want to keep doing this, of course, because, like, I love to do it, but I also really want to know that it matters. You know, I really want to know that it means something.
Absolutely. To me, that is, like, the most powerful fuel that you can inject or put into any sort of situation that when you're working with people is just to recognize them. And does it take anything from you? No. Right? Just to say, like, hey, Damiana, you're doing an amazing job today. I just want to say, like, you're doing incredible. I see you, right? After a long day, right?
Yeah,
you're just like, oh,
right? You're like, wow, thank you.
Oh my God, it's okay.
I've been working so hard, like the tiniest little thing, right? So, and magic, I'll just say that to you too right now, because you seriously, like, just transformed this room. And I, like I said earlier, I was like, you went like above and beyond. Like, you just like made it so beautiful and put so much love into it. And so I want to appreciate you for doing that. And like you said, you know, you actually enjoy doing it, you love doing it, it's meditative, and that's beautiful, but it also really creates a ripple of like people want to be in here. And like if it wasn't for that, I would have been when Brandon was like, oh, like something came up and he wasn't able to do this Q&A with us, you know, I would have normally just been like, okay, it's fine. But then I came in here, I was like, oh, it's all set up and it looks so nice. And like Magic's all like floofing the like blankets, and I was like, okay, maybe we should just do something. And clearly Magic knew that it was important to do, because, you know, this is obviously a really powerful conversation for us to have and to share with you all. So thank you for that, and you're doing a great job.
Love you, Magic.
Yeah, thank you. Love you. So great.
Magic is such a wizard of aesthetic, which tickles my soul. It makes me very, very happy. Yeah, because I'm very sensual in like how I love to experience the world. So I'm like, if it's vibes in here, I'm gonna be sitting right here.
Walking vibes. Okay,
I just walk in and it's like, wow, that's some serious vibes.
Exactly.
I'm gonna sit right there.
Exactly.
But I kind of said that as I walked in, is like you set the stage, and that was a big thing that a big life mantra for me is set your stage to play. Set your stage, and your stage being wherever your environment is that you're gonna work and do whatever it is that you're gonna do. Right, like, and I like to think of it like I'm being on stage, right? Like if I'm putting on a stage play, I need to have all my props and my stage and all my lighting. Everything is exactly the way that I want it to be. So now I look at my life that way. My room is dialed in, right? Where I create my space, my home. I like that is my stage. And so when I set that up energetically, I'm placing all of the things in a perfect assortment to inspire me to do the thing that I want to do, right? Versus going into a space that I just put no love into and no attention into, and I'm like, why am I not inspired?
You're like,
well, it's because like
this environment's
put a little love in it, or you're trying to do something and things are disorganized and it's just taking way longer, right? To just find the thing or to do the thing. And what that does is that puts you out of flow, and when you are out of flow and you're spending majority of your energy and your time trying to navigate through clutter or disorganization, that just kills the momentum. And setting the stage isn't just physical, it's not just the physical things, it's also setting the energetic precedent and harmony of the people that you're working with. And so that's why, like, I was thinking about it the other day, I'm like, probably 51% of the things that I do is all human resources related, is all emotional intelligence related.
So much.
51%. And then the rest is all play, right? Once that is really solid. To me, that's the foundation of the pyramid before we can even execute and start things.
So cute.
So yeah.
I see a comment from the juicy lady.
We got Viola and said, so true. Just right now.
Yay.
So true.
Mm.
And then Mel Juice, she just said,
I know.
Finally, someone's saying it.
And then
So cute.
I am Medine Brazil says, we want to quarantine with you guys.
Aww. Well, we can pretty much, because you can be with us every single day, twice a day, and sometimes even more. So if you ever want to like be with us more, we're here every day, 5 a.m. Oh God, 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can join us for so much more, and you really do get to feel like this guy Chris and this other woman Anna and a few other people. Titles are lame, and a few other people. They come like almost every single day, and they feel like family. Like we really get to know them, and for people who also want to dive deeper, we have amazing offering a remembership program that you can learn more about on Optimistic TV. And then I know I personally am doing these Zoom calls too, twice a week, where you can actually see each other. So you can be on the Zoom, we can see you and you can express yourself. You have time to share, and everyone gets an opportunity to share. And I'm guiding those every Sunday at 7 p.m. and every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Cool.
So if anyone's interested in that, you can also message me at Damiana Loves, and you can join tonight. We've got one at 7 o'clock. So.
And then tomorrow morning.
Is it Monday already?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
We got Everett.
Tomorrow morning, I lead breathwork and alignment. Really just using all the different kind of breathwork, meditation, guided meditation, Reiki techniques, all encompassed into one to align yourself to really step into your best self and live the most awesome week.
Yeah, great way
possible.
to start the week.
Great way to start your day.
Totally.
Great way to start your week, just to really align with your higher self.
Yeah.
That's something I do on Mondays, and then also on Tuesdays and Thursdays now on my Instagram channel, I'm live streaming as well, and just kind of diving deeper into topics such as empowered leadership and creative flow and alchemy and all sorts of fun things.
Yay.
So yeah, there's lots of ways to connect on the interweb.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to us.
Juice said, I don't ever want to miss one again.
Oh, yay. Put it in your calendar. Schedule it.
You guys feel like home.
Oh.
Thank
That's
you.
so beautiful.
And Chris said, I really appreciate all of you. And I am Medine Brazil said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta take a screenshot of this
all the
page.
hearts.
That's like so much.
Yes.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Yeah, so please reach out, come back. We do these lives again every day, so you can tune in on our Facebook or YouTube page. You can also find us individually on our Instagram. And I actually want to take, this is so beautiful. I want to like show the group. I want to take a screenshot of all your comments. Do you have your phone? That's so beautiful to hear all of your experiences and like that this was powerful for you, and yeah, it's really great to know, and just receiving feedback and reflections is really helpful.
Yes.
And so we really appreciate it, and you know, if you guys ever have anything specific that you're going through or needing support with, or are like, damn, I am really going through it right now, I am wanting to dive deeper into this, or whatever it might be, please reach out. You can reach out on our these pages here or our personal pages. We also have like deeper dive offerings, more like one-on-one coaching and group coaching. We're also launching a really powerful coaching program for the some of the people here at the Mystic Manor as well. So just know that you're not alone. Just know that you have support. Just know that like there are people that love and care about you and like want to help support you in rising into your highest potential and truly claiming and remembering your purpose and being that and showing up as that and bringing that to the world, because every single one of you is a, as I call a VIPP, very important piece of the puzzle. And without you, there is no us. And so it is so important for you to find your piece of the puzzle and bring it to the world and truly own it and claim it. And then you can see others' piece. You can see others' value once you know your value. And then we can all rise higher together and higher than we ever thought possible. So it is all here. It is all available. And it is, I see a couple more comments coming in.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear those before we close out.
Yeah, I would love to, just kind of hear all the things in about 5 more minutes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I also just want to add, too, that this whole experience is a co-creation. Like, we are learning just as much as you guys just by going through this experience together. It's a co-creation. And so, for me, I always love to bounce ideas off of people and always get feedback. Like, the thing I always like to say is always a master, always a student. I love showing up knowing that I am in that position of a master, and also with that curiosity and that humility of everybody who shows up for me is also a master for me in a lot of ways. And so you guys are teachers for us as much as we can be hopefully teachers for you guys as well. And so it becomes that regenerative dynamic of growth together.
So Chris said, we'll be joining you soon at the manor.
Sooner than you think. We are here.
He wants to move in.
Mel Juice says,
For
and a heart.
She said, like AWW,
like,
Is that a cry face?
Yeah, with the heart.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
Then I am Medine said, do you already have sound healing at the manor?
We do!
Yay.
Magic, come show your face.
It's
No,
me.
come in. Let them see you. Remember, we like to, people like, this is Magic. Man. That's actually great. You can still see us.
Yeah.
Just stay there for a second. Okay.
Yeah,
we have some amazing sound bowls.
Yeah, we're actually, Damiana and I are going to do one together this week.
Yeah, what day is that?
That's going to be on Tuesday morning, I believe.
Ooh.
Tuesday morning. We're going to do a really
morning?
beautiful
Yeah, it's either
Tuesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's cool.
Oh, wait, what's Brandon? Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
Wednesday that I don't know. Well,
We'll send out the schedule.
either way,
You guys
every
want
day,
to copy,
8:30
might
a.m.,
check us
5
out.
p.m.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
one of the
come join
mornings,
us.
Tuesday or Wednesday, show up for both. You'll
Yeah.
be surprised. Yeah.
And, yes, I see a yes.
Yeah.
And then,
you read
that
that?
so that was
Yeah,
Mel,
I'm
and
like
then,
surprised. I'm like, I see yes.
Chris
I say truth.
Chris
I say
said
truth.
truth.
Yeah, I see
Then
truth.
I am Maydeen said, I am not a woman. I am not a man. I am not a person. I am a teacher.
Yeah. Transcendence, baby.
Love it.
She said, beautiful hello, fellow sound healer. Yes.
Hello.
Look, we can all do it together. It makes it
Yeah,
more
you could be
powerful,
playing
more
with
energy,
us.
more intention.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris is coming. He's like, let us know, I'll be there.
Damn. Wow, getting new roommates off of Instagram.
And then Viola Harmati said, "Thank you guys." And then we have, and then she
Thank
said,
you.
"Greetings."
Hearts.
She said, "Greetings from Transylvania."
Ooh, you're in Transylvania?
Transylvania.
What? That's so
Where the vampires
dope.
are.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love that people can be anywhere in the world. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Yay, virtual world. Okay. Well, we are super grateful for all of you for coming on here and for taking the time out of your Sunday to come be with us. And,
Hold on.
oh,
We got
woo!
We got a woo from IMBD. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We do that a lot here. That's why that's
I
really
love
funny.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, well, thank you guys all
Amazing.
for being here and for
Thank you,
showing
thank
up
you.
and co-creating this with us. It's always such an experience, you know. So thank you guys for being.
Yeah, for being here and love you. Oh, we love you too. And this, so this evening, 5 p.m., Robbie is going to be doing soul songs. He's going to do a live soul song for Petra, another housemate. So come join us at 5 for that. And if you're wanting a deep dive, I'm going to be guiding a Zoom call, Sensual Awakening experience tonight at 7. It's going to be really, really powerful. So if you're interested in that, you can just go to my Instagram and click the link in my bio to register. And it's all donation based. I don't like to turn anyone away for like lack of funds. So you can join regardless of whether you can or cannot contribute monetarily. So I would love to have you there. And we're so grateful to be with you. Eddie and Magic, come out and say hi before we go.
Okay.
And then
And the credits roll.
yeah, the credits roll.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talk with Brandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.